Okay, now let's speak with Cayman.
Hello?
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Of course. I'm very sorry. It's just that we don't get many visitors. Like you, I mean. Of your kind.
You've never seen a human before?
Oh, of course. It's just that they don't... I mean, you don't... Oh, I should start over.
Take your time.
I'm Cameron, a hunter apprentice. Though I wish I could become a real hunter.
Why can't you?
I shouldn't be talking about this to an outsider. You wouldn't understand.
Try me, you could actually surprise me.
I suppose there's no harm in it. It's not like you can help me. I've been an apprentice for too long. To become a true hunter, I must bring back the pelt of a beast I killed myself. A boar or a wolf or something. I wanted to hunt in the forest, but we're forbidden to enter because of the attack. But the real problem is Gaina.
Girl problems, I see.
She's my heart's desire. I have asked for her hand, but she cruelly refuses it. She will not bond with an apprentice, she says, and calls me a child. I am no child. If I was a hunter, I could prove it, but I cannot hunt, and Gaina will never bond with me. I feel so helpless. I shouldn't have brought it up. Just leave me to my misery.
Isn't there a way we can solve your problems?
You think I haven't thought about this? There's nothing I can do.
What if I got a pelt for you?
No, I couldn't do that. I must kill the beast myself. It is my rite of passage to become a full hunter.
Do you want to marry her or not? Make a decision.
You are right. I do want to marry Gaina before she marries someone else. So you would get a pelt for me? Why would you do that?
Honestly? Hey, because it suits me. Do I need another reason?
Then I am very grateful. I will pray to Andrul, the goddess of the hunt, for your success.
Honestly, I don't mind helping you because honestly I just feel more bad for you.
Underanitishan, Grey Warden.
Hello.
My name is Lanaya. I am Zathrian's first, what you might call an apprentice, perhaps. I've been studying under the Keeper all my life. I am a bit curious of the outside world. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two?
If you like, go ahead.
I hear the human cities are very large. Thousands upon thousands of souls all packed together in their houses. Is that true?
Why don't you go see a city for yourself?
No, I could never leave the clan. My duties here are important to my people, and to me. No doubt, I would not even find my way. I try to imagine those of our people living in such a place, surrounded by walls of stone and indifference. It is a difficult thought.
I agree. It isn't an easy life for them, I have to admit.
Better for our people,
doops.
yes. Elves are not the same as your kind. Our souls are more fragile. Is that the right word? It is said that one day we will have a land of our own. We Dalish gather the ancient wisdom in preparation for this. When that day comes, all elves, even those who have forgotten, will reclaim their former glory. I have a question, if it's not too impolite to ask. Do your people regret what they did to ours?
Honestly, some of us do, but unfortunately not. Some of us do, but unfortunately not all of us are the same.
I see. That is difficult for our people to accept. Even if only some were in favor of what was done to us, the rest did nothing to stop it. A poet once wrote of them, before the fall of the Dales. Like dragons they fly, glory upon wings. Like dragons, they savage, fearsome, pretty things. But you don't need me to quote poetry to you. Forgive me. Perhaps you have some questions of your own.
What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm hardly anyone special, I assure you. If I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans. I came to the Dalish at a very young age, but I've always retained my curiosity about the world I came from.
How did you come to the Dalish if you were so young?
My parents were servants to a human merchant whose caravans plied the southern routes. One day, bandits killed him, and my parents both. I was the only survivor, just a young girl, and the bandits took me. I was their servant for several years.
That just sounds terrible.
It was. The long years of reflection have allowed me to come to terms with it, to put them in perspective. I can only imagine what would have happened had the clan not saved me from them. I owe them my life for that, and more.
You said they rescued you from the bandits?
The bandits killed a scout when the clan passed near their camp. When the clan discovered him, Zathrian came looking for his killers. He followed their tracks for almost a month, and when he finally caught up to us, he fell on the bandits like a terror. No one could stop him. I sat there, and I watched him attack them in a blur, and I reveled in every blow. When he saw me, the fury in his eyes turned to pity. He took me back to the clan, and I've been here ever since.
Didn't you have a family you could have returned to?
It's possible I might have had some, maybe many. Zathrian offered to take me back, but I had no idea where I was from, and I wanted to stay with the man who rescued me.
Reasonable.
The clan is my family. Any others out there? It's best they believe that little girl died with her parents. For now, the clan is all I need. My old world could not have offered me all. Perhaps one day, when I am keeper, I might inquire out of curiosity. I'm not sure what lies down that road except pain, however.
Okay, I think the rest of this I know.
As you wish. Darth Shiro.
Darth Shiro. Okay, let's see. I spoke with you. Let's speak with this nurse.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
I must attend to our ailing family.
Colored inks. Oh, I speak with Arthras.
Andera Natishan, stranger. I am Athras. I hope the
Athras.
others have not been too harsh in their treatment of you.
I don't mind. I completely understand.
That is very generous of you. Most would assume we are unkind as a rule, and that is not the case. Especially not to a Grey Warden. But we have lost much, and it is easy to forget simple niceties at such a time. I understand you will search for
Niceties.
the wolves in the Brazilian forest. I would join you, but Zathrian has forbidden me.
You do not seem very happy about it.
None of us are happy about this situation, and I least of all. But I shouldn't speak too much about this, especially with an outsider. I am sure you have little interest in my problems.
Please, I'd love to hear about it.
It's odd to talk so freely with a stranger, but perhaps you can help me. My wife Daniela and I both fought the werewolves in the ambush. She was injured so gravely, the curse spread rapidly in her. Zathrian fought hard to ease her pain, but there was little he could do. And though he says that Daniela is dead, he will not let me see her body. I am beginning to believe she became a werewolf, and that it is being kept from me so I do not go chasing after her. If I could just know if Daniela is alive, or what happened to her, then I could be at peace.
I'll seek her out in the forest.
I have an amulet made by our craftsman. It's not much, but I would be happy to give it to you in return for any news.
Thank you. I hope we don't have bad news for you, Okay, I think I've done everything possible. Hello, Mithra?
I trust there are no hard feelings about my questioning of you when you arrived. We Dalish must protect ourselves from trouble at all times.
Honestly, I understand.
You might have just told me you were a Grey Warden and saved me the grief, though I suppose I can hardly blame your caution. But I wish you good fortune.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, now. Yeah, let's head to the entrance to the forest, I'm thinking. Well, guys, we're about to go into a psychotic forest. Literally not on the list of things I was planning on doing today. Let's just collect our thoughts for a moment and head right in. Oh, Winin, you wanted to talk to me?
What's on your mind?
Honestly, what? There's something else you wanted to talk to me about, but let's see. Why did the spirit choose to help you? Is actually a good question.
I have always had an affinity for the spirits of the Fade. As a child, I never feared my dreams because I knew they were there.
What about demons?
I could sense the demons, too, and their presence frightened me. It was the kindly spirits of the Fade that took the fear from me. I've always been able to feel the spirits, even if I never saw them. And as I nurtured my talent in the circle, I became more sensitive. I began to notice every time I was in the Fade, whether it was in a dream or in magical practice, that I was being watched.
Do spirits watch people like that?
I suppose they must. It is these benevolent spirits that create our dream worlds in the Fade. Sometimes I would see it, a glowing, nebulous form. Most times I would just feel its presence, gentle and comforting, but somehow alien. I think it is a spirit of faith. They have never been seen before, and perhaps I am wrong. But something tells me I'm not. It always felt like the same entity. This one spirit was curious about me, and was guarding me, for want of a better word.
You're pretty lucky.
There were times when I was in the Fade that it seemed to stretch forth to shield me, keeping me safe. And I think it gave me strength in my most terrible battles, Ostagar being one of them.
And your fight with Petra's demon. Actually, so the spirit of faith is... I'll say the Petra demon.
I don't know why I was chosen. Perhaps it knew that there was something more that lay in store for me. I like to think that I was given a rare chance, and I'm going to make the best of the time so generously given to me.
I'm glad you think traveling with me is worthy of your time.
I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. That is not the death for me. And so I will fight alongside the... So
Whoops.
You had better listen to me, because I swear, if I should fall before the end and you don't seem to be doing things properly, I'll get up again to give you a good finger wagging.
I'll hold you to that promise.
You know, I think you'll be all right, even without my help.
That's not what you wanted to talk to me about, but I do enjoy hearing that.
What's on your mind?
Is there anybody do to cure you, maybe?
Cure me? What, am I sick now?
I guess death isn't an illness, is it?
Even you know that you cannot cure the dead. And I'm not the only one dying. You are too. I'm just more efficient about it. Ah, child. Your concern is heartwarming. But death comes to everyone, and it is not something to fear.
I'd rather be alive, to be honest. Actually, I don't fear death, it's the dying part that sort of scares me.
People fear not death, but having life taken from them. Many waste the life given to them, occupying themselves with things that do not matter. When the end comes, they say they did not have time enough to spend with loved ones, to fulfill dreams, to go on adventures they only talked about. But why should you fear death if you are happy with the life you have led? If you can look back on everything and say, yes, I am content. It is enough.
Because we always want more.
Ah, human nature. You are right. Some people... I think I've led a good life. A full life. And I, for one, am not afraid of death, whatever it may bring. They say that when you die, your spirit travels through the Fade and returns to the Maker. And after that, we'll see, won't we?
Another interesting thing, but not
What's
what
on
you
your
wanted
mind?
to talk to me about. So you have no regrets at all?
I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past, of which there are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else.
Tell me, it might make you feel better.
Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority.
I can see how this could be trouble.
What Anarin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home, time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him, too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential, just to be difficult.
And what did he think of you?
Oh, I dread to think. I was a harsh taskmistress. He might have thought I was a demon in disguise. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him.
What happened to him?
Anarin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down.
Phylactery?
The phylactery is a vial of blood taken from a mage. But blood is connected to life, and your blood can be used to track you down. They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him.
It wasn't your fault.
I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed Anarin. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish Elves.
Maybe he did find him.
The Templars are well trained and thorough. That he still lives, it would be a vain hope. The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student.
I see there is a bright side.
And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret.
Okay, let's look into this quest. We are at a Dalish camp. As I anticipated.
Is there something you need?
Have you ever heard of an elf named Erlen?
I appreciate you trying to find him, but what are the chances?
Anarin the healer?
You know Anarin?
He lives? No, it can't be him. Perhaps it is a common elven name.
No, I know of only one Anarin.
Ah, it makes sense. Anarin said that he was from the human cities. You are old friends, then?
You see, there's no harm in asking.
If you seek Anarin, you must venture into the forest. He prefers to be amidst the trees and the animals.
Thank you all so much.
I should go.
Shirol.
Dalish Elves. Another distraction after another. Well then, now let's go into the forest.